Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Victory. I'm Leisha Lee. Ladies, it's good to see you all today. How
Hi,
are you
to see
doing?
you, see you too.
All right, so it's May. The theme for May, Mother's Day. So we're gonna kick off this show. Our topic today is like mother, like daughter. And my first question for you all, as a young girl, did you always desire or expect to have a family when you grew up?
No. Well, I
No.
never really thought about it until I got pregnant. Okay, so now I have a child. And probably because I was much younger as a parent, you know what I'm saying? Um, so that was unfortunate, but thank God for my son. So, no, I never got to the point of, dreaming about the big old princess wedding dress and, all the kids and the picket fence. Because, like I said, in starting a little bit premature, I feel like it kicked me into turbo mode. So, unfortunately, I didn't get the opportunity to dream and then manifest. It was kind of a little backwards. It manifests, and now I'm dreaming, so for me, yeah.
Cool, cool.
I didn't. When I was younger, I always said that I would never get married and I would never have children. But that was my outlook at the time because growing up my mother was a single mother, and I saw her in some really bad physical abusive relationships. So in my mind, that was everybody's relationship because that's all I knew was her. And then she would always tell me, no, it's not always like that. And then as I got a little older and she got married, and I was able to, for the second time she got married, I was able to see, wow, there's a difference. Totally different man, treated different. So my view changed by seeing different and being exposed to other houses because since I was the only child, I would only go to grandma's house, mom's house. It wasn't until I got older and start seeing other things, other relationships, I was like, oh, okay, other households are different. So my view changed as I got older, and now I love family, all about family.
Oh,
I was going to say all the above. I said, but actually, no. I never dreamt that the white picket fence, the house, everything. I never thought I would be married. God had another plan for me, so I'm glad that I'm married and it turned out the way it did. But I always said I wanted to be single, one child, and driving a sports car. So I achieved one thing. I had one child, but I never thought of no.
well, your sports car might be coming.
It might be for me to drive fast right into the wall, but no.
Marcella.
Well, I come from a family where mom and dad, they, dress alike, love, show each other love, the gifts and all the glory of marriage. They've been married for over 50 some years. So, I look up to that. And I think moving into young adulthood, that's kind of what the types of relationships I was looking for to find that it may not necessarily be as connected as theirs is, and that there are different ones. But like, no, as a child, I just, I would play with the dolls and the house and stuff, but it wasn't, oh, I gotta be married or anything like that. But I do look up to my parents' relationship.
Okay.
For me, I can't say that as a kid I dreamed about being a mom or married or any of that. I think over my entire life I kind of always gone back and forth. Like, yes, I do. Psych, no, I don't. Yes, I do. Never mind, no, I don't. So it's never been like a thing. I I think I've dreamt of a wedding, but I got my white dress. I had a cotillion, so I was like, that works. So no, not really.
But I
Alright.
do think our parents do kind of set the, I don't want to say the standard, but set the tone for, because now my mother was married to my dad, and then unfortunately they divorced and she remarried. But there was always a standard, like, she wasn't shacking, wasn't no men spending the night, so I definitely did want to mimic that, as I got older for it to become a reality of mine. Not like I said, having a baby, that was, it was just a little bit out of order, but I always said to myself, like, oh, of course I want to marry my children's father and, do want to be married. I don't want to be, flopping from bro to bro. I wanted to set the tone, especially once I had children. It's like, okay, then you do what is right, right? In the eyes of God, so to speak.
Yeah, I would have to agree with Saffron. After you become an adult and you live life and all that stuff. And you go back on the things like for me also, I was brought up in the church and my mom was like, "You're not living in my house and you're not shacking up in here, this, that, and the fourth." So as you get older and you go through life's experience, like I was an adult when I had my child, never been married, but I was grown. I was 38 when I had my daughter. So after having her, of course, I was like, yeah, I would love to be married, but unfortunately, it didn't work out that way. I too have my dress, who knows where it is in one of those closets, but it just didn't manifest to that at this time. Do I still yearn to be married? Of course, that's something I would love to do, but if it happens, it happens. To God be the glory.
All right. Now, do you all consider your moms a hero, or do you look like think of her as kind of a hero in a
My
mother?
mama is definitely the real MVP. Okay. She's definitely the hero, the shero, the MVP. I'm just saying between, um, you know, divorce and, being a single mom. I mean, she always set the standard. She's full of wisdom. I mean, she loved hard, um, love hard in a healthy way, because I know, it's a new thing. Oh, you love hard, it's toxic. No, my mama love hard. Like I'm saying, if she for you, she's for you, definitely. So, just seeing her, come through adversities, trauma. She's come from a family of 12 siblings. It was 12 of them. So for me, that alone is a big deal. I mean, it was four of us, and I was struggling in the middle, like, oh, I want to be the baby, and then my brother came and it was like, you're not the baby anymore, so that was the thing, that now I look back over my life. It definitely affected me, right? So yeah, she is definitely my hero. I mean, when she's for you, she's for you in any situation, right? So yes.
For me, I would have to say, no, my mother is not my hero, but I will say she has heroic characteristics, things that I do admire, such as her strength to push through certain obstacles. But no, she's not my hero, and it's due to certain things that from my past that I wasn't able to look up to her to be that hero. So I think a hero is someone that you look up to and display certain qualities in some areas that was lacked.
I would say for me, my mom is my hero. She always has been from day one. It's just, I'm the only child, so it's always been me and her. And I watched her go through trauma and adversity and just go through life. And she got to a certain point where she was like, I cried enough. I'm going to smile and laugh and dance for the rest of my life. And that's her motto to this day, laughing, smiling, and dancing. And I learned a lot of things from her at a young age. Like she's been working since she's 15. So I learned hard work ethic and family and different things like that. And to watch her just to turn her whole life around after having me at a young age. And we practically grew up together. So, I learned some things from her. And now that she's in her later years in life, I'm learning, continue to learn, but keep my eye on her because yeah, I've transitioned to the mother now where I keep tabs on her. So
I have a lot of admiration for my mom. And I would say it's because like she's always been very driven. She's been career oriented. And even today, I look at her like she's like the leader of her women's ministry at her church. She's active in her neighborhood community, her HOA. Just always a really sharp, intelligent lady. So, mom, I do admire her.
I would say my mom is definitely has hero qualities. For me, she is a role model of what a godly woman is supposed to be. Um, she's shown us, my sister and I, what it is, how a woman should treat her husband. And it's not someone who's aggressive or take charge, but she showed us that partnership in a marriage. She's loving. She showed us what a loving mother would be. She showed us how to be independent individuals as women, intelligent women, outspoken women. We got that from mama. So yeah, my mom was a strong individual. She taught us how to stand up for ourselves, but she also showed us how to be humble in situations as well. So she is definitely a hero in our family.
All
Yeah,
right.
because I think, when you think of a hero, you think of someone um, you can model, right? So in so many ways, my mother was that model. She's my hero because she introduced me to Christ. Like, what greater gift can somebody give, right? She's my shero because she showed me what a wife should be like, what the standard is. She showed me how to parent, and even when we thought she was parenting tough, no, that was good that I was afflicted. You understand what I'm saying? So just certain things, not that she's this warm, fuzzy person all the time, giving out big hugs and kisses, which she do now, because I believe those were some things that my sister and I taught her as we got older. Not that she gave all that when we were young, but as we got older, we were able to pull from what she did and did not give. Make sense? So, you look at your mother's mistakes and you said, okay, that wasn't a good one. And she might say that wasn't a good lesson, right? But I'm going to do something different, on the reverse side. So I think, with that being said, a hero doesn't always have to wear a cape, a hero and a shero. But being able to bounce back from adversity to, teach their kids and train them the good, bad, and indifferent, and be an example, because they're learning. It's trial and error in parenting.
Yeah.
It's trial and error. And so where I was judging her in a lot of areas, baby, I eat all them words. I'm taking all that back. I'm sorry, ma'am. You understand what I'm saying? So, and being the parent, I think that's important for us as women to take that nugget. Like, there's no manual for parenting, and all kids are different, right?
Absolutely. Now, how was your relationships with your mom growing up, and then how has it changed as you've aged?
For me, for me growing up, there was we were like sisters growing up because she had me so young. We were like sisters. So the good part is I could share anything with her and be transparent with her, and she was not judgmental. However, we had to learn, she had to learn to parent me in a different way because the older I got and experiences I went through, she had to change how she dealt with it. Like, for instance, if I'm beefing with somebody, if I'm in a fight with somebody, she could not go with me to help me,
Right.
assist me to fight. She had to transition to, okay, well, let me call the police. Let's file a police report. And, we can't show up with you to swing on people and stuff like that. Because I am the only child. So, you're not going to let nothing happen to your baby. But I also learned how to walk in forgiveness and to serve people that have hurt me from watching her walk. When back then I was like, yo, you crazy, that's stupid. And now I'm like, wow, she was teaching the whole time, and I didn't get it until I got older. So
And for me, me and my mother, we had a great relationship. My mother is also open to, I can talk to her about anything. But when I decided to give 100% to God, my mother really wasn't on board. She really, I guess, liked the old me. So now that she knows I'm standing firm on it and I'm not bending, and this is how it's going to be, she's coming around. So it's a work in progress. Yeah.
I would say, God gave me the best mother for me. Growing up, like I was not born Deaconess Lavelle. I was a handful. I was a handful, but my mom had a determination. Like, you are not going to be a statistic. You are not going to go this route, that route, and then made some disciplinary karate moves, or choices, for me, for my brother, so that we had, some different avenues. I would say today, um, I would consider my mom and I to be friends. I think there's still a respect level, like don't get too familiar, but we can talk about most things. We give each other advice with our relationships, friends, different, you know, work things that come up. So I think we're definitely moved to a much more friendly space. Not, but not peers. Like, we're not on the same um level. There's definitely a reverence and a respect I have for my mom, but we're chummy and it's fun.
My mommy. Okay, so when I was a little kid, my mom was the disciplinarian of the household. I'm daddy's girl. So, so daddy and I would play and draw and play basketball and do all of that. And my mom, she would do things with us, but she was the one that would plan the trips to Disney World. She was the orchestrator of the household, right? And so when I was a kid, like I was I was the only child for 8 years. So I had friends. I would want to go over sleepovers of a cousin's house. You're not going anywhere. Ma, you don't let us go anywhere. No. Holiness, no. You're not going anywhere. You ain't sleeping on nobody's house. So as a little kid, I was like, Mom, don't let us do anything. And especially when my sister came in the picture, then it was you look after her. So now transitioning into young adulthood to adulthood, like, really, she was there when I went through different trials and tribulations. She was my ride or die right there. And now it's like we are the best of friends. I can talk to my mom about anything with some holdbacks because you can't tell them everything. You tell your parents everything, it's going to come back and bite you. But we can have a really nice laid back conversation, real life. I don't have to worry about, okay, this is mommy. I don't have to say it a certain way. She'll allow us to talk to her as women now. And we can talk about our kids or whatever and be comfortable. And now I'm dealing with a new hat because now, as you indicated, oh my goodness. Isha.
When she said she's a mom now.
Right now, I'm the mom of my parents with a lot of things, especially with health issues and that there. So, but we have to always, and I have to remind myself, they still are the parent.
Mhm.
The things that they may do, we may not understand why they're doing it, but we gotta say, okay, that's still our parent. So it's a transition of phases over the years.
Okay.
It was definitely a transition. So, growing up, like I said, she wasn't really an emotional person. You know what I mean by, emotional. The kids these days are different. They require a lot of hugs, a lot of kisses, a lot of attention, stuff like that. Um, she put a lot of things in order. She was a working mom. I don't ever remember us being evicted, lights out, water off, or without, anything. She was a firm mom. She had a standard even before she got saved. Like, she had a standard, like Marcella says, spend a night. Spend a night where? With who? Don't, matter of fact, don't ever ask again.
That's right.
Okay, let's be clear. In the house before street lights on. She trained us. You keep a clean house. You clean up. Now that I'm old, I'm a little bit junky, and I think it's in my rebellion because she didn't keep no junky house at all. But I'm just saying, cooking and cleaning. You put sheets on the bed. You wash that inside part of your ankle, and your toes, so when you go get your feet done, the dirt ain't rolling off your leg. Just certain things. You wear undergarments, just, certain things. She had a standard. A woman should always wear earrings, even if your hair ain't done, you wear earrings. Earrings are important, just certain things that she taught us. And those are things that I hold on to today, as our relationship has transitioned. the older I've gotten. When I became a wife, she allowed me to be a wife. I'm not a child anymore. I'm always going to be her child, but I'm a wife, so you have to find the balance in that. Like Marcella said, you can't tell them everything because they go so hard. Right. He won't be the husband no more, those type of things. And now that I'm older, we definitely can share, any and everything. But again, I find the balance because even if I have brokenness, I don't want to impede my traumas onto her or make her feel like, I'm in anything and she can't rescue me. Right. Because there's that boundary there, So the good thing about it is I think we have a wonderful relationship now. Her wisdom it's incredible. The fact that she's saved and full of the Holy Ghost, it's like, I mean, when I say she the real MVP, she is the real MVP. And, I'm not saying it with fluff, even when I look for cards and certain things like that for her, I make sure they're exactly what I want to say. I don't have to add and I don't have to take away. I'm just trying to say what I'm trying to say. Make sense?
Yep.
Yeah. So she's a
No.
beautiful person.
What's one of the first thing, or what's the first thing that you thought or did when you discovered that you would be a mother?
I focused on my health. I made sure that I changed my eating habits. And I sat down, and because I was 17 when I got pregnant and 18 when I had her, I'm like, this job not going to work. So what can I do to better myself that I'm going to have a career to support my child? So those were the two things that I really focused on.
Okay.
I focused on balance because I got pregnant with my first child as I was transitioning, as I was graduating and on my way to college. So instantly I had to make a decision. I couldn't go away like I was planning to go away. So I had to go locally. So just had to make a lot of decisions, and it worked out because I ended up going to a community college and just would walk her to daycare on my way to school. And it worked out because now she's in school because she says she remembered seeing me still go to school and still, even everything I went through, I still stayed in school. So it ended up working out.
Marcella?
Well, like I said, I was older. I was 38. So at that time, I was working two jobs. I was in between teaching and makeup artistry. So I had to decide, okay, which one I'm going to let go. And of course, it was the makeup artistry at that time because the teaching was paying the bills. But that, and also I was training at that time for Miss Fitness, bodybuilding. And so I had to back away from that for the health bodybuilding. For Miss Fitness.
You better do it.
So I wasn't able any longer to go in and lift the heavier weights and the weights that I was lifting in that process. So I had to let go of that competition piece.
Okay.
I was thinking none of what they was thinking. I was thinking, look, I'm gonna hold on to this baby daddy. And then when he went to jail, I'm like, I gotta find this baby another daddy. Okay? Like, I wasn't thinking none of that what they was thinking, okay? And then I did. Okay? Then I gave him some kids, and then I got married. Okay. I'm glad y'all got them good stories. Okay. But no, I was like, I gotta feed this baby. Like, what's about to happen? Because at that point, once I got pregnant, it was kind of like, I'm grown, but you're really not grown, right? Because I was still at home. I didn't have a job. I was going to school. So tell me how this work. You grown, sis. You don't even have your own address. You don't have your own address. So then at that point, when I figured I couldn't be grown, I decided to leave home. I became emancipated minor. And then I had to be grown for real, So at that point, I mean, I'm on baby number 3 by the time I was 18. So I'm trying to keep my baby there. So we get married, like I'm grown for real now. Let's play house. So I mean, and it worked for that time. It would work for that time. But I'm glad y'all got some great success.
It didn't feel like it going through it.
I was going to say honesty. You have to love it. Honesty, that's the best policy anyway.
But that's a good thing. Like, each one of us have our own different stories about transition to motherhood. It would have took us through, even though mine was building character at the time, it was emotionally, I was a mess. It was like, why didn't nobody tell me this all that you got to deal with? And that was just one child. So emotionally, I'm sure dealing with, a couple.
I was a hustler.
So what surprised you in your first year of motherhood?
Emotional.
What surprised?
The emotional part of it, trying to keep yourself afloat, trying to raise a baby. And then my child had a lot of physical ailments because when I gave birth, I don't know if it was because I was on medical assistance or what it was, but they just ripped her right on out and they broke her arm and a leg. So Shanice's, I'm not supposed to say her name, but anyway, her first 2 years were very traumatic physically, but her environment, I don't think she realized because we kept a real loving environment around her. So from birth to 5, she was in occupational therapy, learning how to use her arms and her legs. And the doctor said that she would never have a job. She would never drive. She worked 2, 3 jobs. She's in college and she stayed with a car, tearing a car up or something. So she proved all of them wrong. But yeah, so it was a lot dealing with, and my mother was instrumental in that too, in navigating me through, okay, dealing with hospitals, dealing with lawyers, dealing with courts, still maintaining, going to school, just trying to figure out what am I going to do with myself. So emotionally, it was a lot.
No, emotional for me, it was a beautiful thing because I had a sense of belonging. Like taking care of him, it was a pleasure. Even in the struggles, I was like, shoot, I'm gonna get my baby this, I'm gonna do this for my baby. You know what I'm saying? And I was really, when I think back on it, even at that age, 16, 17, I was I'll give myself kudos. I think I was a pretty good mother. Like, nah, I ain't leaving my baby anywhere, because my mother said, you don't do that. You don't leave your baby, with all kind of people. And, now I left him with her a couple times and then she looked for me and I was in shock. She like, if you got your baby, 'cause I was outside in them streets, but the sense of belonging, I have something to care for, because I'm just saying, once you birth a child, I'm just saying my experience for me, I mean, my life was forever changed. Like she said, the emotional part, and it was definitely for the good, because I didn't look at them as, oh, it's a burden, I'm young. I looked at it like, okay, it's a choice that I made, right? And girl, you better get at it. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to be a young man one day, So with all that and trial and error, now that I look back, I wish I would have had done some things different. But the emotional part of it, it was an amazing feeling. Yeah.
First of all, I want to say, praise God for your daughter. Praise God for her. And that was a suitcase. All of that, that was a case.
Oh yeah,
Stay focused.
Yes, but that was a case. For me, it was the financial part. Although I had a lot of support from my family, children cost.
Yes.
Children expensive. And it seemed like every time I said, wait a minute, I just bought her these shoes. It's 2 more weeks and I said, you need shoes again. So it was a financial part, but I made it through. So thank you, God.
So I say you need some help. Get your baby.
Well, ladies, unfortunately, we are out of time. We do want to thank Pastor Tony Smith and Victorious Ministries for allowing us to be a part of the vision. And to all the mothers out there, have a happy Mother's Day. Until next time, bye-bye.
Bye.